Great. Thank you very much for calling in and all the generous support that's been pouring into VPT. We really need your help this year. And to bring that in, we're going to ask for a little more help from Montse Almena from Vermont Institute of Artisan Cheese, and Bob Lesnikowski's out here, or as we like to refer to him, is the best telemark skier in Vermont.
I didn't know that, Bob.
And also from Boyden Valley Winery and Vermont Cranberry Company. I mean, there's a lot of wine going on in Vermont, okay? And there's a lot of different spirits and beer and everything else. But you guys picked some very specific wines to go with pretty unique cheeses, right?
Well, again, it's all about complementary action and balance. So, again, with the family of cheeses we talked about before, young cheeses, goat milk cheeses, they have this acidity that balance so well with white wines, but also because of the mouth feeling, kind of like a rich texture goes well with the sparkling wines.
Oh, okay.
Bob has a very unique white wine, right, Bob? You were saying that kind of like combine both of these characteristics.
It's a Ceval Blanc, which is grown in New England, Quebec. We have it's a very dry wine with a lot of brightness, a lot of dissolved CO2, so it gives your palate some nice lift. It really complements soft cheeses quite well.
For people who aren't used to Ceval Blanc, what's a wine that's similar?
Very much like a Sauvignon Blanc.
Right,
Sean.
right. So people who are out there drinking Sauvignon Blanc and Fumé Blanc and love it, try it. You'd be very surprised. You'd probably like it.
Nice acidity, nice mineral notes in the finish.
Great. And which cheese would you pair this with?
Well, again, we decide, in both cases to do the pairing with the Blue Ledge from Lake's Edge Farm. It's a top, a very unique cheese, award winner. So Bob decided to pair with this wine because it complements very well, again, the creamy but yet chalky texture goes well with this kind of like a sparkling wine.
Right.
So cleans the palate. And
that little bit of earthy undernote with the ash in there, I think really brings these two together.
I
think
it's
brings the
the
mineral
wine.
notes in the end.
Yeah, good point. It's all about texture and mouth feeling sometimes.
Exactly. And the second wine for this?
Well, the second one, let me say, I got lost here.
Or the second cheese?
Oh, yeah. We, again, with the Wash Rind family of cheeses, we have kind of the pungent cheeses that can go from red wines to dessert wines, like the raspberry wine from Shelburne Farms Rhapsody, dessert wines. But Bob, we're going to focus today in a new cheese that we didn't introduce before.
Really? We like new
Puree
cheese.
from Dancing Cow.
Which is a lovely cheese.
Yes, and it's semi-hard. So it's in this wash rind, but semi-hard, so offer other possibilities in terms of texture. And Bob, you choose...
this cheese, once again, it's not a real big, strong, pungent cheese. So I chose kind of a medium red. It's our Riverbend Red, which is a blend of Baco Noir and Sabrava.
And people who don't drink Baco, I mean, it's got a lot of characteristics of Pinot, right?
Pinot Noir? Same weight. Yeah. It has a nice bit of fruit to it and a very unique front taste.
Yeah.
It goes very well with medium cheeses. It's a very nice, flexible, middle-of-the-road wine, very drinkable. Nice bit of tannin.
Try this one?
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Try it.
This one I never had before, so... Very smooth body and rich, complex flavor.
It's a great drink, and it's a great eating wine, too.
And one feature of our Vermont wines that goes great with cheese is... And it's not something that we need to be afraid of. It's nice acidity notes.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's really the unique thing when we talk about Vermont wines. A lot of people, go, oh, Vermont wines, like it's not California. But I mean, that's what people were talking about in California. 40 years ago, people were horrified by the idea that anybody was making wine besides, the French. And now you're finding that people are really...
Spanish.
And the Spanish, my bad. I mean the Spanish. With that accent, I thought you're from South Rutland. But now we find that people, and especially vintners in Vermont, are really finding unique ways to make great wine up here. And every year, it seems to get better and better and better and better. So maybe if you tried something 3 years ago, try it now. It's definitely gotten very different. I mean, I know your wines over the last few years, and Shelburne Vineyards and Snow Farm and Lincoln Peak. Every year, they just get better and better and better. Great, and so this next round of cheeses.
So now we're going to focus again in the semi-hard, hard cheeses, and we are going to try this time the cloth-banded cheddar, but from Shelburne Farms.
Okay.
So much more strong, deep, complex flavor of the young, regular cheddar, and that goes well with strong red wines.
Right.
And we have the red wine from Shelburne Winery, the Coach Barn. as a good pair. And Bob chose.
I chose our Big Barn Red, which is our heaviest red.
Okay.
It's made with the Frontenac grape, which is a variety that grows very, very well here. We do this wine in kind of a Rhone style, medium body.
Yeah.
Nice tannin in the finish. Beautiful blackberry berry notes up front. Goes very nice with aged cheddar.
Right. So is this a high acidity wine?
It is a high acidity
Okay.
wine. Frontenac has.
But I mean, that's the thing. Cheddar is high acidity.
Right.
Well,
so the pear is great.
I think pairs well too because kind of like spicy, has kind of like peppery notes.
Yes.
Yep.
Not so much, some acidity, but not like the regular cheddar. So has more the complex, spicy note that goes really well with the acidity.
And this wine also goes very nice with a smoked Gouda or smoked cheddar, which
For
that's
sure.
a hard cheese to match up with.
Yeah, it is, because it is dominant, but both these wines seem to hold up to it very well.
I just briefly would like to mention also, like cheeses like Tarantellas.
Yes.
So they are more like a sweet, nutty, or the sheep cheeses can go very well too with white
Right,
wines.
like the Vermont Shepherd.
Yes.
That's a great cheese.
And Côte Champlain has nice, acidity. And I don't know if you have any white wines too that goes well with these.
That would
sweet
probably be
cheeses.
our Cayuga White or our Cow Tipper White, which is made with the Le Crescent grape. The Le Crescent grape has really nice apricot pear notes, much like a Riesling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
great.
Ray Knutson makes a great Le Crescent. We always talk about his too. I phone stalk him about the Ray's wine. And for the last, we've got the Big Blues. So
Yes,
so what would you guys pair with this?
Well, blue cheeses goes well with ice wines
Right.
and sparkling wines too. And ice wines, Vermont has a great variety. So some of the wines we have here is Rhapsody from Sherwood Winery again.
This is delicious,
and
yes.
this cute package, I love it, Vermont Ice from Bob's Winery.
This is what we describe as child size, right?
Well,
For the kids, for the stocking stuffers.
No, go
yeah,
ahead, John.
that is really a good idea.
No, it's a beautiful.
In Spain, it would be fine, but
Yeah.
here.
The idea
of
behind
the
this is ice wines are expensive, rightfully so.
They are.
Ice wines are harvested when they're frozen, usually means a nighttime harvest. They're press frozen. Your yields are very, very reduced.
It takes what, like 10 times as many grapes?
It's about 20% of your yield. Wow. So they're expensive, but this little package is a beautiful two-person pour, nice entry for people to experiment with ice
Right.
wines.
And a great
'Cause
gift
ice
for
wines
people,
aren't
too.
part of our culture.
Right.
Dessert wines aren't part of our
Right.
culture. They should be more so, and that's an easy way to try it. And
It's a
a
starter
classic pairing is blue cheese with ice wines.
Which is just great. Have you had this ice wine yet?
Before the show, we were trying. Thank you. It's amazing
And what
wine.
cheese, what specific, I mean, blue cheese is paired with this very well, but what specific blue cheese did you pair out for this?
Again, we decided to go with the Vaquero
Okay.
because of, it's kind of the first time in TV.
Right.
Beautiful cheese.
And it's I mean, when you look at all these cheeses, they're so very different, but this is the Vacheron. And you can see, I mean, it's just...
much more drier,
Right.
concentrate flavors, kind of like meaty. It doesn't have the pungent of blue cheese, what you call ketones.
Right.
The chemical kind of this blue cheese that other cheeses have is more like the beefy, meaty notes, salty, strong, complex notes.
Right.
And pairs greatly with these Vermont ice wines.
And it works because your wine has that syrupy characteristic that really sits on the tongue.
And also, Vermont ice wines, in particular this Vermont ice, they're once again going back to that nice high acidity.
Yep.
This wine is also high alcohol, so the balance is there. It's not sticky.
Right.
So
Well, Bob, where can people get Vermont wines in the state?
they're getting very widely distributed.
Right.
Definitely visit your local winery.
Right.
That's
I mean,
probably the best place
That's
to
the
do
best
it.
place. Go see it get made. Go to Boyden.
we sell-
Shelburne's got a great new facility too. Go out to Snow Farm. Go to Lincoln Peak. Yeah.
But it's also getting widely distributed just about everywhere. And if your local store doesn't have it, ask for it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nothing better. Excellent. Well, thank you very
Thank
much
you,
for
Sean.
coming out.
Thank you.
Great
You're
to
great.
see you.
Thank you,
Great
Sean.
to see you, Bob. We'll send it right back to the pledge set. Make sure you get on those phones and call and make your donation right now to VPT.